He possessed one of the noblest hearts, a true man who valued others more than his own well-being, willing to do anything to help his loved ones. His only dream was to live happily with his family, have a small ranch, and run his own martial arts dojo. That's right, I'm talking about none other than Akaza. Yes, the demon we all hate for taking down our beloved son Kyojuro, and today I'm going to tell you his story and how this strong, handsome and noble-hearted young man ended up becoming one of the most powerful demons in the world of Demon Slayer. And yeah, my English is very taco taco burrito sombrero. I'm Latin, I have the pass, don't worry. But hey, enjoy the video, subscribe and all that things. Hakuji was a young boy born in a Japanese village about 200 years before the events in the series. He was raised by a hard worker, single father or widower, who also suffered from a severe illness. Because of this, from a very young age, Hakuji dedicated himself to taking care of him. Medicine was so expensive, and no one was willing to give a job to a filthy child. So he resorted to stealing to pay for the treatment his father needed to survive. Although he was caught multiple times and beaten severely, Hakuji always said with conviction that he will become stronger so he could fight those he stole from, even boldly declaring in front of the law enforcers that he would keep stealing because it was the only way to get medicine for his father. And so he did, until one day the magistrate threatened to cut off his hands if he was caught again. Despite this, Hakuji continued stealing, as he believed it was the only way to help his father stay alive. It's worth mentioning that Hakuji was like a Saiyan, passionate about fighting strong opponents. He became famous as the troublesome thief, and due to repeated offenses, even crimes he didn't commit, the magistrate was fed up with him and branded him as the Demon Child. They held him down and tattooed him as a criminal, but Hakuji didn't care about the beatings or what people said. He only wanted to see his father healthy. One afternoon, when Hakuji returned to home, he discovered that his father had taken his own life upon learning what he had been doing to keep him alive. He left a letter apologizing for being a burden, stating that he wanted Hakuji to live a fulfilling life, and that he didn't want to take a medicine if it was obtained through dishonest means. Hakuji had lost the person he loved the most in the world. He never thought of his father as a burden and was willing to do anything to keep him alive, even sacrifice himself. With criminal tattoos and no home to return to, Hakuji was ultimately banished from the village. Devastated by his father's death and enraged at the society they lived in, where he couldn't even afford basic treatment, he wandered from village to village, fighting, stealing, and surviving. One day, while walking, he got into a fight and defeated several adults in combat. However, the fight was interrupted by a dojo master, who was impressed by his abilities. Despite his criminal tattoos, the sensei invited him to his dojo. Feeling challenged, Hakuji attacked him, but he was easily defeated. Keiso was a skilled martial arts master specializing in the Soryo fighting style, which focused on barefoot combat. After this unusual encounter, Keiso decided to adopt Hakuji and asked him to take care of his sick daughter, Koyuki. Keiso had earned the boy's respect, and with nothing left in his life, Hakuji accepted. He saw his father reflected in Koyuki and felt an innate need to protect her at all costs. Hakuji quickly developed a deep affection for the people who took him in. Without realizing it, he had finally found the family he had always longed for. Keiso owned a dojo but struggled with some samurai who were claiming his land, which prevented him from gaining more students. However, he saw a promising future with his only disciple, and was determined to pass the dojo down to Hakuji. He was also enthusiastic about Hakuji and Koyuki marrying, as their love for each other was evident. Thus, this so-called marked criminal had found purpose in life. He had a family who loved him and a place where he belonged. Hakuji was happy to have people to protect. Excited, he decided to visit his father's grave, to tell him everything that had happened, and to share the news of his engagement. Hakuji joyfully returned to his future father-in-law and fiancé. But upon arriving at the dojo, he found a crowd gathered outside. A doctor informed him that the households had been poisoned, killing both Keiso and Koyuki. The perpetrators were those who wanted the land but knew they had no chance of defeating Keiso and Hakuji in battle. What these cowardly murderers didn't anticipate was that Hakuji wasn't at the dojo. Enraged by grief and blinded by fury, Hakuji slaughtered every last one of them with his bare hands. 67 members of the rival dojo, including their samurai master. His wrath was so overwhelming that he left all their bodies unrecognizable. The event was so brutal and shocking that many believed it was just a myth. The story reached the Demon Slayer Corps, who immediately assumed a demon was responsible due to the gruesome nature of the massacre. But they weren't the only ones interested. None other than Kibutsuji Musan, the king of pop, and of the demons too, investigated the matter as none of his demons had been involved. To his surprise, it had all been done by a mere human. With nothing to left in this world and no will to live, Hakuji confronted Musan, who was recruiting people to become part of his upper months, his elite demon army. With a single punch, Musan pierced Hakuji's head, transforming him on the spot and giving him a new name, Akaza. After his transformation, Akaza lost all memories of his life as a human. All that remained was his obsessive desire to become stronger for no apparent reason. That lingering feeling, the need to grow stronger to protect his loved ones, persisted even as a demon. Akaza is one of the few demons, if not the only one, who refuses to attack women. Thanks to his strength, loyalty, and willpower, he quickly became one of Musan's favorites and one of the strongest demons. He was reserved only for highly important missions, such as facing the mighty Flame Hashira. Once you understand Akaza's backstory, you can empathize with him more. You realize he isn't just a demon who killed a beloved character. He wasn't evil just for the sake of being evil. The truth is, Hakuji was a good person who, despite initially taking the wrong path, was able to straighten out his life. All he ever wanted was to live happily with his family, get married, maintain the dojo, and grow stronger. However, we all know how that ended. And that, my friends, is the past and origin of Akaza, one of the most powerful demons in the world of Demon Slayer. Let me know in the comments what you think about him. Your opinion matters a lot to me. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and one more time, I'm sorry for my taco sombrero English. I hope to continue improving to better convey what I want to say, okay? Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one.